Welcome to Quiz Stories, where we uncover the darkest corners of human minds through intriguing quizzes. Today, we delve into the chilling story of Issei Sagawa, the Kobe cannibal, whose shocking crime horrified the world. From his privileged upbringing to his gruesome actions and bizarre aftermath, this tale is as disturbing as it is thought-provoking. Test your knowledge, discover unsettling details, and explore the psychology behind one of history's most infamous criminals. Let's get started. 1. Issei Sagawa was born on April 26, 1949 in Kobe, Japan, to a wealthy and influential family. He was reportedly a sickly child who often felt physically inferior. One physical characteristic that fueled his feelings of inadequacy was his A. Short stature, B. Speech impediment, C. Visual impairment. Sagawa's small stature and frailty became a source of insecurity for him from a young age, impacting his self-image. 2. Despite his personal struggles, Sagawa was highly educated and pursued a passion for literature. Sagawa pursued graduate studies in literature at A. Sorbonne University in Paris, B. University of Tokyo, C. Kyoto University. Sagawa moved to France to study at the prestigious Sorbonne University, where he later committed his crime. 3. Sagawa had a strong academic record. His primary area of study was A. Comparative literature, B. Folk tales, C. Medieval literature. Sagawa was an avid student of literature, a background that ironically influenced his later attempts to justify his crime through writing. 4. In 1981, Sagawa befriended René Hartevelt, a Dutch student at Sorbonne University. The activity that Sagawa and Hartevelt were engaged in at his apartment when the crime occurred was A. Studying together, B. Having dinner, C. Working on an ecology project. Hartevelt, who was helping Sagawa with his studies, was lured to his apartment under the guise of academic collaboration. 5. René Hartevelt was an accomplished student with a promising future. A field of study she was pursuing at the Sorbonne was A. Political science, B. History, C. Linguistics. Hartevelt was a bright linguistics student, her future tragically cut short by Sagawa's horrific crime. Number 6. Sagawa's crime was not impulsive, but meticulously premeditated. The first step he took to enact his horrific plan was A. Poisoning Hartevelt's drink, B. Shooting her in the back, C. Strangling her. Sagawa fatally shot Hartevelt with a rifle while she was reading a poem. 7. Sagawa's actions shocked investigators. After the murder, he attempted to A. Dissolve Hartevelt's body in the bathtub, B. Cannibalized parts of her body, C. Disposed her remains in the Seine River. Sagawa later admitted to consuming parts of Hartevelt's body, a revelation that horrified the global community. 8. Following the murder of René Hartevelt, Issei Sagawa consumed various parts of her body, including her breasts and thighs. He even admitted to swallowing certain parts whole. This act of cannibalism was particularly gruesome due to the fact that he A. Cooked all the parts he consumed, B. Saved some parts in his refrigerator, C. Shared the remains with others. Sagawa kept parts of Hartevelt's body in his refrigerator before attempting to dispose of them, and even took photographs of Hartevelt's body at each eating stage. 9. Sagawa's crime was shocking not only for its nature but also for his candidness about it. He claimed that by consuming René Hartevelt, he hoped to A. Absorb her beauty, B. Punish her for rejecting him, C. Experiment scientifically. Sagawa claimed that by consuming her flesh, he believed he could incorporate her physical beauty into himself. 10. Sagawa's arrest in France was quick after the discovery of Hartevelt's body. The clue that led police directly to him was A. His fingerprints on the suitcase, B. A witness identifying him, C. His passport left at the crime scene. A witness who saw Sagawa with the suitcase containing Hardevelt's body parts helped police quickly apprehend him. 11. Despite the gravity of his crime, Sagawa faced an unusual legal resolution. Sagawa avoided sentencing in France due to A. Insufficient evidence, B. Declared legally insane, C. Diplomatic intervention by Japan. French authorities declared him legally insane, and he was deported to Japan without facing trial in France. 12. After returning to Japan, Sagawa's fate took an unexpected turn. The factor that prevented his trial in Japan was A. Lack of extradition treaty with France, B. French authorities sealed his case files, C. Japanese laws on mental illness. The sealed case files from France meant Japanese prosecutors could not proceed, and Sagawa was released. 13. Sagawa's family was influential and wealthy, which played a role in his legal outcomes. His father was A. Politician, B. Industrialist, C. Military officer. Sagawa's father was a prominent industrialist, which gave the family significant influence, possibly affecting his legal treatment. 14. After his release from psychiatric care, Sagawa sought various ways to sustain himself. He undertook an unconventional job as A. Restaurant critic, B. Manga writer, C. Crime consultant. The irony of a convicted cannibal becoming a food critic added to the bizarre infamy surrounding Sagawa. 15. Sagawa's release in Japan caused outrage internationally. The primary criticism of Japan's handling of the case was A. Failure to provide proper psychiatric care, B. Allowing him to profit from his notoriety, C. Failing to prevent him from traveling abroad. Critics argued that Japan's legal system failed to address the ethical implications of allowing Sagawa to gain fame and financial benefits from his horrific actions. 16. Sagawa gave multiple interviews. In interviews, he claimed A. He had no remorse, B. He acted out of temporary insanity, C. He was a victim of societal rejection. Sagawa often stated that he had no regrets, shocking audiences and further alienating him from the public. 17. Sagawa had exhibited dangerous tendencies before the Hardevelt case. He first attempted a similar crime in 1973 in A. Japan, B. China, C. South Korea. Sagawa followed a tall German woman and broke into her apartment. His intention was to cannibalize her by slicing off part of her buttocks, but was captured by police and charged with attempted rape. 18. Sagawa claimed his cannibalistic desires began in childhood. According to his own accounts, one thing that triggered his violent urges was A. An obsession with fairy tales, B. An encounter with classical art, C. A fascination with a classmate's thighs. Sagawa reported that his cannibalistic fantasies began in elementary school, specifically fixated on a female classmate's thighs. 19. 11 years before his death, Issei Sagawa stated that being forced to make a living as a known murderer and cannibal was A. A terrible punishment, B. A minor inconvenience, C. A form of artistic inspiration. Sagawa expressed that living with the stigma of his horrific crime and the societal judgment that followed was a significant burden he had to bear. 20. Sagawa passed away in 2022, leaving behind a complicated legacy. Most people in Japan reacted to his death with A. Indifference, B. Relief, C. Sympathy. Many felt relief, believing his death closed a chapter of infamy that had haunted the nation. Thank you for joining us on this disturbing journey into the story of Issei Sagawa. If this quiz gave you chills or made you think, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to explore more unsettling stories. Share your quiz results and thoughts in the comments. What aspect of Sagawa's story surprised or horrified you the most? Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning the shadows of our world.